Contributor Katie Nichols with us from Buckingham Palace, as well as NBC News medical contributor Dr. Taryn Arullo here in Studio 1A. Katie, let's start with that. The Prime Minister did say that they caught the cancer early, so that does seem like a little bit of good news. What are they saying there?
Well, I think it sounds like really good news because this is what they call an incidental finding. So they weren't looking for cancer, but obviously while they were doing this procedure on the enlarged prostate, they found something. We don't know what that is. But I think even the fact that he started treatment already indicates that they're on top of this. They know what they're doing. I mean, he's here in London with some of the best clinics in the world. And sources close to the King are saying, while this has come as a huge shock, and it genuinely has, he was at home recuperating at Sandringham, apparently quite impatiently because he wanted to get back to work, when suddenly the news was, well, the benign prostate's been sorted, but we found something else. That really has turned everything upside down for the King. But I think he's feeling very positive, as is the Queen and the rest of the royal family. But obviously, it's a very, very worrying time. And of course, he is 75 and you know, he is an aging monarch. He's also a king who's in a hurry. He wants to get things done quickly. And therefore, this is going to put something, not of a stop, but it's going to delay things. And it's certainly a setback.
Well, in any normal family, you call your kids around, you call your family, you say, listen, this has happened. And here we've seen Harry actually reportedly making plans to come right away to be at his father's side. How's that being received? I mean, obviously, there's been some difficulty in that relationship. Are people interpreting that as, wow, this must be really serious? How is that going over?
Well, I think there are people that are thinking, gosh, does this mean it's terribly serious? I'm not sure that's necessarily what it indicates. I think it is that it's high time, actually, that the Duke of Sussex came over here. He was over here for the coronation, of course, but that was very fleeting. He didn't get any time with his father then. He wasn't here for the 75th birthday. I think families do come together in a crisis, even when there's been a deep family rift, as there has been at the heart of the House of Windsor. And you know what? I suspect the meeting with Charles will actually be quite warm, one of relief, and one that Charles will be thankful for. I think any meeting with William will be far, far harder.
All right. Katie, thanks. Dr. Narula, so this cancer diagnosis came. They said they found it while they were looking at something else. So what do you make of the findings here?
Yeah, I mean, this can definitely happen, an incidental finding. You can imagine anytime you go in for any sort of surgical procedure, you have pre-op testing. That involves labs, urinalysis, usually a chest x-ray. In that case, you might find something. You have imaging. Now we have CAT scans and MRIs that are so good that many times we pick up incidental things. And then in certain procedures, you're using scopes. And so obviously we don't know what type of cancer. And then I would say one final thing is when you do a procedure, many times you send off that pathology, those tissues for analysis. And so that might come back revealing a cancer from somewhere else, obviously not the prostate. So, you know, very difficult to know right now what exactly it is. But again, as they said, when you find things early, that's the best thing when it comes to cancer because we have treatments available. We know the earlier you get to it, the more likely you are to be able to treat it well.
The Palace isn't saying a ton about it, but it does seem like he's going to get treatment, not surgery right away. Do you glean anything from that?
It doesn't really tell us much, Savannah. I mean, again, we have so many treatment options now, immunotherapy, chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and it really depends on the type of cancer, the stage of cancer, the person themselves, what are they going to be able to tolerate, and what are your goals of treatment? So, again, hard for us to know. We don't want to speculate, as he said, as they said at Buckingham Palace. This is not a time for speculation.